This. Bernie, Dragon Fan, Tim, Big Ray's ball cards. Looks like 201 is the first one when I went live at 2 o'clock. So 205, we will end the early birds. Or no, I'll go 207. 207, so to just put it in start the early birds. Pretty sure. Live in 2 days. Oh, wrong one. Not Simmons. We're doing Selig. And I go. Oh, I see what it did now. I'll be with it here in a second here. Let me get my computers cooperating with me. God is great in the house. How you doing? Space Case Cards. I think with enough people that we got in here in the early birds, I think we're going to make it. Hotter than two rats fighting in a wool sock here today. Real feel 104. Well, we had a respite. It looks like today and tomorrow. Today was cloudy, and it's only 64 here. So I think the clouds have cooled things up. We're supposed to get up into the 80s again and close to 90 by the weekend. So that's where we stand here in Seattle. So I will put it in here when we're going to end the early birds. Okay. Again, I said, what did we get here? Actually, the first live was Bernie at 1:59 p.m., followed by Dragon Fan. And then the first one at 2 o'clock, because you can always chat earlier and stuff. So 2:05, I'll end the early birds. As soon as my computer says 2:05, we'll get the 5-minute early bird entries and get everybody logged in. Just so you do know, we are at 992 entries. So if we get up to the 1,000 this Friday, we will have the June, July, August giveaway. So just be prepared for that. But we will be keeping track of for our September giveaway, which will start in September, since it took us into August to make it to the 1,000 names. It used to be in one month, sometimes earlier than 1 month, we would get it done. But there we go. Right. Got the end of the early birds. So let me go through and start at the top, and we will get everybody logged in here, okay? We'll get everybody logged in. So I've got first, I had Bernie with a hello Donald. So Bernie was in here first earlier. And we will be having 2 trivias today. Okay. So but based on all we need is 8 more entries for today. 8 more entries, and then everything else will start for September's giveaway. Okay, so I'll be keeping track of entries, but they will officially be for the September and until we get. So we do have the remainder of August to start filling for September. So if by the end of September we get 1,000 entries, we'll do another drawing at the end of September. Okay. All right. So we got Bernie, we got Dragon Fan Tim. Let's see, where's Dragon Fan in here? Let me add him in here. Let's see him. Okay, we'll be a 2 plus. All right, let's see who else we got. So all we need is the first 4 people. So Bernie H, Dragon Fan Tim, Big Ray. Big Ray's made it in here. With a 2 plus. So who is our first? We got Bernie. We got Cops is here. All right, Cops has got in here. So that will be the last of the entries for, because all we needed was 8 entries. That's 2 for Big Ray, 2 for Bernie, 2 for Cops, and 2 for Dragon Fan Tim. Okay, now I'll get everybody else, because I'm going to put these names into the drawing. Then we'll start one for the September giveaway. Okay, so everybody else will now go into September, including for the trivias and things of that nature. Okay, so let me get that in here. We've got Big Ray. Well, yeah, tell you what. At the end, I'll add the other entries in for, and I'll keep track of all this in my infamous brain. All right, but let's see. So after Big Ray goes Bernie, Cops. We got Cops, Bernie, Big Ray, me. So let's see. Space case cards. Gets a 2 plus. So we got Space Case. God is great. Two plus. All right, that's Titus. Okay, God is great. Big Ray, Bernie. God is great. Big Ray, Bernie. God is great. Big Ray. God is great. God is great. Dragon Fan Tim made it in at 204. We got Dragon Fan Tim in here already. And then moi. There we go. All right. So I've got everybody in here for, so far, Space Case cards and God is great. Then at the end, whoever's here at the end, your entries for the end of stream, 2-minute warning, will be going into the September giveaway. All right, so we will be hopefully having a September / or August / September giveaway. Okay, since we did fill it up, and again, this Friday on the, what is today? Friday's the 9th, right? So on the 9th, keep that on your, I'll edit that in my description for Friday's video that we'll be doing the giveaway on there. I'll edit that on my StreamYard. So that'll be listed for our items of event on Friday. Okay. So that's where we stand there. Let me refresh the chat here. Get that rolling. Right? We will go with that for now. So appreciate everybody's here, and we're going to get into Bud Selig's biography for today. Everybody, I'm sure, is familiar with Bud Selig. Okay? So, who out there does not know who Bud Selig is? Especially if you've been a baseball follower for a long time. Yeah. Clean out my eyeballs so I can see everything better as we get into Bud Selig's biography. I'm going to read the card first, real quick. I don't have no baseball cards for Bud, so. Commissioner from 1992 to 2015, the first 7 years in acting capacity before formally named by unanimous vote among all 30 owners in 1998. Presided over an era of vast change to the game on the field while extending its breadth and depth off of it. Fostered an unprecedented stretch of labor peace, introduced three-division play, and expanded the postseason under his leadership. Umpiring was centralized and replay review was established. Celebrated by the national pastimes, pioneer diversity by universally retiring Jackie Robinson's number 42. The bridge builder and devoted fan who returned to baseball to Milwaukee as a Brewers owner before serving as the second longest tenured commissioner. So there you go, a little bit of your history on the Hall of Fame plaque for Alan Huber Bud Selig. Okay, Alan Huber Bud Selig was born July 30th, 1934, and is an American baseball executive who currently serves as the Commissioner Emeritus of Baseball. Previously, he has served as the 9th Commissioner of Baseball from 1998 to 2015. He initially served as de facto acting commissioner beginning in 1992. In his capacity as a chairman of the Major League Baseball Executive Committee before being named the official commissioner in 1998. Selig oversaw baseball through the 1994 strike, the introduction of the wild card, interleague play, and the de facto merging of the National and American leagues under the office of the commissioner. He was instrumental in organizing the World Baseball Classic, which started in 2006. Selig also introduced revenue sharing. He is credited for the financial turnaround of baseball during his tenure with a 400% increase in the revenue of MLB and annual record-breaking attendance. During Selig's term of service, the use of steroids and other performance-enhancing drugs became a public issue. The Mitchell Report, commissioned by Selig, concluded that the MLB commissioners, club officials, and the Players Association and the players all share, to some extent, the responsibility for the steroid era. Following the release of the Mitchell Report, Congressman Cliff Stearns called publicly for Selig to step down as commissioner, citing his glacial response to the growing stain of on baseball. Selig has pledged on numerous occasions to rid baseball of performance-enhancing drugs, and has overseen and instituted many rule changes and penalties to that end. A Milwaukee native, Selig was previously the owner and team president of the Milwaukee Brewers. The franchise, originally known as the Seattle Pilots, was acquired by Selig in bankruptcy court in 1970 and renamed after the minor league team of the same name that he had watched in his youth and had existed until the arrival of the Braves in Milwaukee in 1953. Selig was credited with keeping baseball in Milwaukee. The Brewers went to the 1982 World Series, but were defeated in 7 games by the St. Louis Cardinals, and Selig won 7 Organization of the Year awards during his tenure. Selig remains a resident of Milwaukee. On January 17, 2008, Selig's contract was extended through 2012, of which he planned to retire, but he then decided to stay as commissioner until the end of the 2014 season, a move approved by the owners on January 12, 2012, which would take his leadership past his 80th birthday. Selig made $14.5 million in the 12-month period ending October 31st, 2005. Selig announced on September 26, 2013 that he would retire in January 2015. On January 22nd, 2015, MLB announced that Selig would formally step down from the office when his current term expired on January the 24th, 2015. And he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2017. Okay. Wait. Did Don change to trivia at the end of the stream now? Haven't been on live in a bit. Oh my word. I forgot. I forgot there. Sorry there, Big Ray. Yeah, I know. Sometimes you guys might come back and watch. Let me take a commercial break real quick here before we get into his early life, and let me catch up on our 2 trivias here. You're right. Nope, I didn't change it up. Too excited to do the biography here. All right. So let me give me a second here and let me get back to my content here. Okay. I got my trivia calendar out here. All right. Let's do that real quick and I'll get everybody logged in here. All right. So we're going to do yesterday's trivia, which is for Monday, August the 5th, 2024. Yesterday, that of course, was a civic holiday in Canada and a summer bank holiday in Scotland. But our baseball birthdays for yesterday were John Olerud, Carl Crawford, Mark Mulder, and Nelson Briles. Okay, so we do have 5 answers on the trivia block, 1 correct answer. Whoever gets the correct answer first will get 5 entries into the September giveaway. Okay, so which of the following catchers hasn't won a World Series MVP? Is it A, Rick Dempsey? Is it B, Darryl Porter? Is it C, Pat Borders? Is it D, Yogi Berra? Or is it E, Gene Tenace? I'll read it through one more time, but you can guess at any time. Baseball by position. Okay? Baseball by position. Okay, there we go. All right, well, I guess I don't need to read it. Space Case Cards, according to my chat, Space Case Cards got it right with D, Yogi Berra. That is Space Case Cards. You got that first trivia for today. So that's 5 more entries towards September's giveaway. Okay, that is which of the following catchers hasn't won a World Series MVP? And that would be D, Yogi Berra. I'll read it right here real quick. On the back, it says D, it's the Hall of Famer who never won. Tenace won with the Athletics in 1972. Porter won with the Cardinals in 1982, and Dempsey with the Orioles in 1983. Borders took the award in 1992 with the Blue Jays, and Berra had some excellent series, such as the 56 matchup, in which he hit 3 homers and drove in 10 runs. But Don Larson, who threw a perfect game, won that series. So there you have it. Yogi Berra never won a World Series MVP. So congratulations there, Space Case Cards. You got that one correct. Okay. Let me set that aside here, and we'll do today's trivia. Okay. This one I'm going to make, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 choices, but there's 4 correct answers. So there's 6 choices, but 4 correct answers. Okay? If you get all 4 correct, if you get all 4 correct, looks like we froze up there. If you get all 4 correct, you will get 6 entries, okay? I know it's an oddball number, but I'm going to do it this way. If you get all 4 correct answers, you'll get 6 entries into the September giveaway, okay? So we'll do that that way, okay? So for today, Tuesday, August the 6th, 2024, the baseball birthdays for today are Clem Labine, Bob Horner, Ray Culp, and Andy Messersmith. Okay, so it is entitled Team History. Okay, is I don't think Jay's here, is he? But that's okay. All right, so again, there's going to be 4 correct answers. And if you get all 4 correct, you will get 6 entries into the September giveaway. Okay, so team history. Which players did the Blue Jays sign for all or part of the 1993 season? Okay, so here's your choices. All right, and then I'll read the question through one more time. A, Paul Molitor. B, Dave Stewart. C, Dave Winfield. D, Tony Fernandez. Or E, Ricky Henderson. Again, it's entitled Team History. Which players did the Blue Jays sign for all or part of the 1993 season? Is it A, Paul Molitor, B, Dave Stewart, C, Dave Winfield, D, Tony Fernandez, or E, Ricky Henderson? Go ahead and start your guessing now. Okay. I like that. Answers first. A, C, D, and E. Big Ray said C. Oh, no. No, Bernie's the only one that guessed so far, it looks like. Sorry. Gotta read my own. Okay, so A, C, D, and E. And then what do we got? Molitor, Stewart. No. So nobody got all 4 correct yet. Bernie and Space Case each got 3 so far. So far, those got A, B, C, E. Yeah. So Big Ray, Space Case Cards, and Bernie all tied with 3. Somebody could snag all 4. Remember, you'll get 6 entries. No, Chuck made a wild guess, but Chuck's got 3 also. So there's 4 people, or 1, 2, A, B, C, E, A, B, C, E, A, B, C, D. So far, only 3. A, B, C, E. Nobody got it. Nobody got it. Everybody's only guessing 3 of the 4. Nobody got it. Can't do that. That too many. That's too many with a tie. So there's no, no, nobody. Everybody that guessed only got 3 out of the 4. New question. No, nobody won this one, but we'll go over the answers here, okay? We'll go over the answers here. We'll go over the answers, okay? There we go. Team history. Which players did the Blue Jays sign for all or part of the 1993 season? It was A, B, D, and E. I left out all of the above because that didn't count. So I gave you the 5 out of the 4 that did. Okay? And I'll read the back here and it'll explain it. A, B, D, and E. The signings helped the Blue Jays win their second consecutive World Series. Molitor was the designated hitter and batted .458 in the series, winning the series MVP. The righty Stewart won 12 games for the Blue Jays that year. Fernandez played shortstop and hit .333 for the series, driving in 9 runs. And Henderson's on-base average was .393 in the series, and he scored 6 runs. So there we go. Paul Molitor, Dave Stewart, Tony Fernandez, and Ricky Henderson. What that Big Ray says, someone has to have it if 3 right in the first guess. All options were taken. Okay, so who was the first guess then? The first guess was Bernie with A, C, D, and E. So Bernie gets 3 correct answers. Okay, I'll give Bernie 3 correct answers. He was the first one that guessed A, C, D, and E. A, C, or A, and D, and E. Well, yeah, I know that everybody was tied. So I will do it. I will do it for. I was correct, huh? What? Where were you correct? Big Ray says, Big Ray, your first guess was A, B, C, and E. A, B, C. No, you had A, B, and E. And so did Bernie at A, C, D, E. You had A, D, E. Oh, Big Ray, don't get upset and bent out all out of shape. It's just something we do for fun. Usually it's Dragon Fan Tim that's the one big stickler. Now Big Ray's giving me a hard time. I'm not mad at anybody. This is all just for fun. Okay? So maybe we'll just do you have to get all the answers correct to get any points. And if you don't, the consolation prize doesn't work. Maybe that's what I'll start doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up for now. Nobody got any. Nobody got it. Nobody got it. So we'll continue on with the biography. But Space Gates, you did get the first trivia. Nobody got the second, so we'll continue on now. Back to Bud Selig as far as his early life. Selig was born. Okay, you're just laughing. You're laughing so hard you're crying. I understand. All right, let me do a refresh so I know where I left off in the chat. Okay, so Selig was born in Milwaukee and grew up in a Jewish family. His father, Ben Selig, had come to the United States from Romania with his family when he was 4 years old. Selig graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Madison with a Bachelor's of Arts in American History and Political Science in 1956. He served 2 years in the U.S. Army before working with his father, who owned a car leasing business in Milwaukee. Selig continued to be involved in the automotive industry, serving as president of the Selig Executive Lease Company. Selig's interest in baseball came from his mother, an immigrant from Ukraine. Marie Selig attended college, a rare accomplishment for a woman in the early 20th century, and became a school teacher. When Selig was only 3, Marie began taking him and his older brother, Jerry, to Borchert Field, where the minor league Milwaukee Brewers played. When the Boston Braves relocated to Milwaukee in 1953, Selig switched allegiances and eventually became the team's largest public stockholder. Selig was devastated when he learned that the Braves were going to leave Milwaukee in favor of Atlanta. In 1965, when the Braves left Milwaukee, he divested his stock in the team. As a youngster, Selig's favorite player was Herschel Martin. He developed a friendship with Hank Aaron when the young player joined the Braves. The elder Selig's company provided loaner cars to Braves players, which gave the family access to the clubhouse and players. The pair later attended Green Bay Packers games and sat together on the team plane. As far as the Milwaukee Brewers owner, as a minority owner of the Milwaukee Braves, Selig founded the organization Teams Inc. in an attempt to prevent the majority of owners based out of Chicago from moving the club to a larger television market. This was challenged legally on the basis that no prior team relocations in the modern era left a city without a team. Prior movements had all originated in cities that were home to at least 2 teams. When his quest to keep the team in Milwaukee finally failed after the 1965 season, he changed the group's name to the Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club, Incorporated. After the minor league baseball team, he grew up watching and devoted himself to returning Major League Baseball to Milwaukee. Selig arranged for Major League games to be played at Milwaukee County Stadium. The first preseason matchup between the Chicago White Sox and the Minnesota Twins drew more than 51,000 spectators. Selig followed this up by hosting 9 White Sox regular season games in 1968 and 11 in 1969. One of the games played in Milwaukee that year was against the expansion Seattle Pilots, the team that would become the Brewers. Those Milwaukee's home games were phenomenally successful, with a handful of games accounting for about 1/3 of the total White Sox home attendance. To satisfy that fan base, Selig decided to purchase the White Sox and the intention of moving them to Milwaukee. In 1969, he entered into an agreement to buy the club, but the American League vetoed the sale, preferring to keep an American League team in Chicago, which at the time was still America's second largest city. Selig turned his attention to other franchises. In 1970, he purchased the bankrupt Seattle Pilots franchise, moving them to his hometown and officially renaming the team to the Brewers. During Selig's tenure as club president, the Brewers participated in postseason play in 1981, when the team finished first in the American League East during the second half of the season, and in 1982 when the team made it to the World Series. Under the leadership of future Hall of Famer Robin Yount and Paul Molitor, under Selig's watch, the Brewers also won seven Organization of the Year awards. Selig was part owner's conclusion in 1985 through 87, resulting in the owners paying $280 million in damages to the players. Upon his assumption of the commissioner role, Selig transferred his ownership interest in the Brewers to his daughter, Wendy Selig-Priebe, in order to remove any technical conflicts of interest, though it was widely presumed he maintained some hand in team operations. Although the team was sold to the Los Angeles investor Mark Atanasio in 2005, questions remain regarding Selig's past involvement. Selig's defenders point to the poor management of the team after Selig-Priebe took control as proof that Selig was not working behind the scenes. Selig was elected to the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame in 2001. On August the 24th, 2010, a statue of Selig Monument, commissioned by Brewers owner Mark Atanasio and designated by artist Brian McGaughan, was unveiled outside Miller Park in Milwaukee. As far as when he was acting commissioner in 1992 to 1998, Selig became an increasingly vocal opponent of Commissioner Fay Vincent and soon became the leader of a group of owners seeking his removal. Selig has never stated that the owners concluded, while Vincent has. The union basically doesn't trust the ownership because collusion was a U.S. $280 million theft by Selig and Jerry Reinsdorf of that money from the players. I mean, they rigged the signing of free agents. They got caught. They paid $280 million to the players. And I think that's polluted labor relations based on ever since it happened. I think it's the reason the MLBPA executive director, Donald Ferrer, has no trust in Selig. Following the 18-9 no confidence vote, Vincent resigned and Selig had by this time become chairman of the Executive Council of Major League Baseball, and as such became the de facto acting commissioner. His first major act was to institute the wild card and divisional playoff, which has created much controversy among baseball fans. Those against the wild card see it as diminishing the importance of the pennant race in the regular season, with the true race offered being for second rather than first. While those in favor of it view it as an opportunity for the teams to have a shot at the playoffs, even when they have no chance of a first place finish in their division, thus maintaining the fan interest later in the season. Selig suspended the Cincinnati Reds owner Marge Schott for a year in 1993 for repeated racially insensitive and prejudicial remarks and actions the same year. The New York Yankees owner, George Steinbrenner, was reinstated from a lifelong suspension that was instituted by Selig's predecessor, Fay Vincent. Pete Rose has claimed that he applied for reinstatement over the years and received no such consideration. Rose, along with his close friend and former teammate Mike Schmidt, who is a strong supporter of Rose's reinstatement into baseball, met with Selig in 2002, where Rose privately admitted to Selig 2 years before going public with his admission about betting on baseball. Bud Selig was a close friend of the late Bart Giamatti, who was the commissioner when Rose was first banned from the sport in 1989. Acting Commissioner Selig represented MLB during the 1984 players' strike and canceled the World Series, marking the first time the annual event had not been staged since 1904. Okay, let me get a sip of water here real quick as we take a brief intermission. Bernie should get it since he was first with 3 correct. Everybody in agreement with that? Give me a thumbs up. All right. I only see 3 thumbs up in the stream so far, but that's okay. Bernie, I'm going to give you 3. All right, let's continue on here now. All right, he was then commissioner in 1998 to 2015. After a 6-year search for a new commissioner, the owners voted to give Selig the title on a permanent basis midway through the 1998 season. During his tenure, the game avoided a third work stoppage in 2002 and has seen implementation of interleague play. Whereas in the past, the National and American Leagues had separate administrative organizations, which, for example, allowed for the introduction of different roles, such as the designated hitter. Under Selig, Major League Baseball consolidated the administrative functions of both leagues into the Commissioner's Office in 2000. The last official presidents of the National League and American League were Leonard S. Coleman, Jr. and Dr. Gene Budig, respectively. Reaction after September 11th. On September 11th, 2001, Selig ordered all baseball games postponed for a week because of the terror attacks on New York and Washington. The games were postponed not only out of respect and mourning for the victims, but also out of concern for the safety and security of fans and players. In 2001, the contraction attempt. After the conclusion of the 2001 World Series, Selig held a vote on contracting 2 teams, reportedly the Minnesota Twins and the Montreal Expos. This action led Selig, along with former Expos owner Jeffrey Loria, being sued for racketeering and conspiring with Loria to deliberately defraud the Expos minority owners. I found liable, the league could have been ordered to pay as much as $500 million in damages. The judge ruled that the Expos would not be moved or contracted until the case was over. The case eventually went to arbitration and was settled out of court for an undisclosed sum. A week after Selig's announcement, Hennepin County Judge Harry Seymour Crump issued a temporary restraining order that forced the Twins to honor their lease and play the 2002 season at the Metrodome. In August 2002, the effort to contract the Twins officially fizzled as players and owners reached a consensus on the new labor agreement, which extended the team's Metrodome lease. Changes to the MLB All-Star Game. 2002, the All-Star Game, played in Selig's hometown of Milwaukee, was tied 7-7 after 9 innings and remained tied after the bottom of the 11th. Due to the recent managerial trend of granting playing time to as many available players, I'm concerned. Oh, sorry. Oh, come on, go away. For the arms of the pitchers currently on the mound, Selig made the controversial decision to declare the game a tie. In the dissatisfaction of the Milwaukee fans, Selig later said that this call was embarrassing and that he was tremendously saddened by the outcome of the game. Selig subsequently tried to reinvigorate the All-Star Game by awarding the winning league's home field advantage in the World Series. That practice was initiated in 2003 and continued through 2016. The 2003 All-Star Game had the same U.S. viewership in 2002, 9.5 rating and 17 share, and the ratings declined in 2004 to an 8.8 rating and 15 share. In 2005, 8.1 rating, 14 share. The American television audience increased in 2006 with a 9.3 rating, 16 share. As far as disciplinary actions, on July 1st, 2005, Selig suspended the Texas Rangers pitcher Kenny Rogers for 20 games and fined him $50,000. The punishment stemmed from an incident on June 29th, 2005, during a game playing the Rangers pregame warm-up session when Rogers had shoved 2 local news reporters and knocked one camera to the ground, and one of the reporters resumed filming after picking up said camera, which angered Rogers into shoving him again. After grabbing and throwing the camera to the ground, kicking it, he was then led away by a teammate and later sent home by the club. While an appeal of his suspension was pending, Rogers appeared at the 2005 All-Star Game in Detroit, where fans loudly booed him. On July 22, 2005, Selig heard Rogers' appeal of his suspension. Selig decided to uphold the 20 games. However, the independent arbitrator ruled that Selig had exceeded his authority and reduced it to 13 games, but upheld the fine. As far as performance-enhancing drugs, in 2005, Selig faced Congress on the issue of steroids. After the congressional hearings in early 2005, with the scrutiny of the sport and national media upon this issue, Selig put forth a proposal for a stricter performance-enhancing drug test regimen to replace the current system. The proposal also included the banning of amphetamines, a first for the major North American sports leagues. The MLB Players Association and the MLB reached an agreement on November on its new policy. Selig's testimony on the subject had been contradictory. In 2005, Selig told reporters, "I'd never even heard about them, steroids, until 1998 or 1999. I ran a team and nobody was closer to their players, and I never heard any comment from them. It wasn't until 1998, 1999 that I heard the discussion. By early 2006, Selig forced to deal with the issue of steroid use. On March 30th, 2006, as a response to the controversy of the performance-enhancing drugs and anticipated career home run record to be set by Barry Bonds, Selig asked former U.S. Senator George J. Mitchell to lead an independent investigation into the use of steroids in baseball's recent past. Joe Sheehan from Baseball Prospectus wrote that the commissioner has been focusing blame for the ERA exclusively on uniform personnel and failing to investigate any role played by team ownership and management. Much controversy surrounded Selig and his involvement in Bonds' all-time home run record chase. For months, speculation surrounded Selig and the possibility that he and Henry Aaron would not attend Bonds' games as he closed in on the record announced in July of 2007 when Bonds was near 755 home runs that he would attend the games. Selig was in attendance for Bonds' record-tying home run against the San Diego Padres, sitting in the Padres owner Selig was in attendance for Bonds' home run. Selig refused to applaud Bonds' accomplishment, instead choosing to keep his hands in his pockets and have a look of disdain on his face. But Selig also did not attend the San Francisco Giants game on August the 7th, when Barry Bonds hit his record-breaking 756th home run against the Washington Nationals. After the event, Selig released a statement congratulating Bonds. As far as the postseason schedule, Selig's decision to attend the traditional postseason schedule in November in an attempt to increase Nielsen ratings was met with widespread disdain. Both inside and outside the baseball community. Mike Ciosa, manager of the American League Western Division champion Los Angeles Angels, diminished the decision as ridiculous. I don't know. Can I say it any clearer than that? We should never have had a day off last Wednesday. We should have never have 3 days off after the season. You shouldn't even have 2 days off after the season. Then on to controversies. Oh my God, almost 3 o'clock. Selig has been embroiled in a number of controversial decisions during his tenure as commissioner. Notably, he has been accused of favoring the Milwaukee Brewers, his former team, was during the 2000s suggested the teams, the other being the Montreal Twins would eventually claim the Twins' share of the upper Midwest market. During the 2011 Los Angeles Dodgers ownership dispute, he was and they rejected the television deal that Frank McCourt negotiated